We continue our coverage of the death of Tyre Nichols out of Memphis and the Alec Murdaugh trial in South Carolina. And to offer legal analysis into both of these cases that has gained the eyes of the nation, we're joined by criminal defense attorney Bernarda Villalona. Bernarda, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Mitch.
Now, we are going to start in Memphis. There's more fallout. The city has fired police, EMTs. 3 more people lost their jobs just yesterday. Is this eventually going to absolve the city of wrongdoing here, seeing as they are on the offensive here and, as it seems to the public, trying to make things right?
Absolutely not, Mitch. And just to be clear, those officers, the 2 additional officers, have not been fired. They have been placed on administrative leave. So they're still on the payroll. What they're doing is awaiting their disciplinary hearing, the investigation to be concluded. So we'll see what's going to come out of it. I think at least there should be disciplinary charges that can lead to their firing or the loss of vacation days. So in terms of will it absolve the city? Absolutely not. They were working as a city employee, as a law enforcement, under the color of law, under the city charter, under the city rules, and to protect and serve the people of that city. So no, what you're going to see is several lawsuits that's going to come, and of course it's going to settle because there is no defense to the actions that were done on Tyre Nichols that led to his death.
And just to clarify, those 2 additional officers, as you mentioned, are on administrative leave awaiting further discipline. There are 3 EMTs, though, that have lost their jobs as a result. And those are the 3 additional people that have lost their jobs. But I am curious. We've got criminal charges here. We've got the specter of civil action later on after the criminal element of this is handled. It's second-degree murder, so it's very serious. But where would you place the likelihood that any of the folks that were involved here are actually going to see the inside of a jail cell or a prison sentence as a result of their actions?
Oh, I think the likelihood is very high, especially when you're thinking, because there's no excuse. There is no defense to the kicking of Tyre Nichols in his head. There's no defense to taking out that baton and swinging it on him while he's being held down by 2 other officers. There's just no defense for the savage beating of Tyre Nichols. Why they tried to draft one by saying, "Stop resisting, show me your hands." Oh, and towards the end that he tried to reach for my gun or for his gun. They were trying to tailor their reasoning for acting the way they did. But thank God for that camera that was on the pole, because it completely discredits the story that they were going to deliver to the public as to why they took the actions that they did.
Do you think second-degree murder is the correct charge here?
I think second-degree murder is the correct charge. That's the knowing killing of another person, because there's no way, there's a reasonable degree of certainty that your actions could lead to his death, in the sense of, look, by you punching him repeatedly in the head, by someone kicking him, by someone hitting him with the baton, all of those are sure to lead to death. It's not an accident. It's not reckless. The combination and the cultivation of all those strikes, that is what led to his death. And I think anyone could see that. It is foreseeable.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation in your cable lineup. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-based, unbiased coverage.